What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today we're going to go over a call that I had in my past that while it was crazy and a lot of stuff going on in the scene, it was my first day riding up as a primary medic on an ambulance. So, Black Cloud? Not sure. But at any rate, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It is so helpful for me for the channel. And well, let's get to it and let's go get started on paramedic story time. Now guys, like I said, this is my first day running as a paramedic, but it is not my first day in the field. So I was an EMT for maybe a year and a half to 2 years at this point, so I did have a sturdy foundation, but I was a baby medic. So, and I just got off my ALS rides, which were less than wonderful. You know, my trainer was not the best and did not stay on top of certain things, and I had to relearn quite a bit, unfortunately. So make sure that you are a good FTO and you keep tabs on your FTOs so you get the best training possible. Alright guys, so anyways, I had finished my training rides with the company and I was out on my own as a paramedic. Now, being a paramedic for this specific company is like a glorified BLS unit at the end of the day, because you still run the discharges and the dialysis, but typically the most interesting thing that you get as an ALS provider at these jobs is maybe you'll run like a cabbage call and you'll be running a heparin drip on a patient. Not that exciting. This particular day that we're talking about, I had ran like 3 or 4 BLS calls. You know, we're just like kind of slumping around about it. You know, I felt like I was making a great use of my $7,000 education that took me a year and a half to get. But little did I know that that was about to change for the day. Alright guys, like I said, my partner and I, we're just driving down the road, cruising around 50. We're on a main road right now, heading to, I believe it was another dialysis call. So obviously we're kind of like, here we go, let's go do it. And well, out of nowhere, this car comes flying up the left side of our truck and they cut into our lane on a main road, slam on their brakes, and stop our vehicle entirely. Next thing that happens, lady comes out of the car screaming at us, "Help, my friend's been shot." Guys, I don't think we're going to that dialysis call anymore. Okay guys, so our truck is stopped. Myself and my EMT get out of the truck. We go to the back, grab our scene bags, grab monitor, grab drug box, grab everything, because obviously things are about to get real in this scene. So we're blocking the roadway with our truck, a three-lane main road, and we are in 1 lane right now. But you know, this is what we have to deal with. And we run up to the truck. My EMT is calling for backup right now, and I'm going to go check on this patient. So I open the door and I find this 20-ish-year-old male. He is not alert. He is agonal respirations. He is not looking good, guys. So I expose him, find a gunshot to the chest. My partner goes and he grabs everything that we need. We're grabbing occlusives, we're grabbing the monitor, we're getting pads out. We're just trying to be as aggressive as possible. The next thing I know, before we even get anything on this guy, he stops breathing. I go to check a pulse, no pulse. So we rapid extricate this guy out of the car, onto the road, and we're starting compressions, guys. So now we're working this trauma code in the middle of a mainway. Guy's gotten shot. There's people at the scene screaming. His friends are freaking out. Save my friend's life. Next thing you know, there is just a barrel of police officers that pull in on the scene. Why? Because we just told them somebody's been shot. Obviously, we kind of messed up here with the scene's not safe, right? So they all push in. Fire department shows up. finally we have some backup and we're not just doing BLS anymore. So tube gets dropped, we're decompressing his chest, we got a line, we're starting drugs, we're doing a full code here, guys. We do everything we can. Fortunately, guys, this guy did not make it. He was called on scene despite all of our efforts, but unfortunately that was the result of that call. Alright guys, so I understand this was not an uplifting story, this was not a fun story, this was not something that, you know, it makes you happy to hear, unfortunately, but this was an educational story. This was a moment in my career that I learned a very valuable lesson. And I pass this lesson on to any new medic, EMT, EMR, whatever that comes onto an ambulance. What's that? Well, it doesn't matter if you are an EMR. It doesn't matter if you're an EMT, paramedic, nurse, whatever. If you are on a unit that says ambulance on it, no matter if you work for Joe Schmo's BS, BLS transport team, or you work for a local ALS 911 provider, if it says ambulance on the side of that truck, at some point in your career, someone is going to wave you down and expect that you are a paramedic that is ready and able to save their life. So I just want you to be aware and be understanding that at some point in your career, this will happen. I've been flagged down numerous times so far. It is what it is. It's not fun because you're not thinking about it in that time, but you do need to be ready, if somebody is calling for your help. If you work for a company that doesn't get the real calls, that doesn't get the crazy exposure, then you guys need to be training regularly. You need to be running scenarios with your partners. You need to have that one call that you're like, well, what if this happened? What would we have done? You need to think about this ahead of time because that's how you become a good provider. You think about what happens next. So please, stay on top of your skills. Stay on top of your education. At the end of the day, someone's going to need you for it, and you need to be on your A game for them at that time. Anyways, guys, this was the story of my very first trauma code. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I release content every other week right now, and all of your support is super helpful in me continuing to do so. At any rate, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and thank you for being a part of Paramedic Storytime.